Hey, it's Kathleen Rendelia, and I am ready to bid. Are you? I got my money, I got my bid number, and I'm ready to go. I hear that our auction is going to go live next Monday. Oh, wait, just a second. Somebody's telling me something. Oh, apparently our auction's online this year, so I don't need my bid number at all, and I can still spend my money, but just with a click of the button. That's even better. So, are you ready for our auction? We've got some fun things on there this year. So we've started sharing our link, and we've had a few questions about our auction link. People are looking at it and going, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. Some of our pricing and things like that are not finalized yet, guys, so don't worry. By the time next Monday rolls around, it'll all be set, but you can get a sneak peek at all the different items that are available. Now, we still are getting some more items, and we still need some more items. So if you're interested in donating items for our auction, please get in touch with us. It's not too late. We're accepting items all this week. If you're interested in bidding, though, you don't need a bid number, but you will need to go to 32auctions.com and create a quick account. So you have to have an account to bid, or else otherwise people could bid and then not be held accountable once they won an item. So that's why you have to have an account, but it is a secure system. I promise you'll be okay on that. Really easy. You just need an email, basic, simple. You can set it up in 5 minutes or less. So you can already sign up and get your account ready to go. You can add items to your watch list and be all set. Our auction, like I said, is going to go live Monday at 6 a.m. But you don't have to be an early bird. You can look and bid all throughout the week. It will be open until that Saturday evening. So if you're interested in something, you want to make sure you check back, though, pretty frequently to make sure that you don't miss out on it. You can even enter what we call proxy bids. So that's something like saying what your max amount is. And I hope that your max amount has a few dollar bills in it, because remember, all of the proceeds are going to support Brandon's house, and it will help us to reach our goal of $16,000. You can even see on our auction site how far we are from getting to our goal. Right now, with our sponsorship that we have so far, we are at 10%, and our auction hasn't even started yet. So we hope to get some more sponsors this week. So if you're interested in sponsoring the event, you can do that through our website, brandonshousein.com. And you can also contact us at our office. We're happy to walk you through the process. We have 4 different levels of sponsorship available, so you can kind of pick what fits you and your business the best. The starting level is $100, and it goes all the way up to $1,500 and above. So there's different advertising options with that you can get some marketing for your business. Let the community know that you and your business value teens and mental health. So it's a great opportunity that way to not only get word out about what you are doing, but also to support what we're doing at Brandon's house. So once again, I'm Kathleen Rendelia, director at Brandon's House Counseling Center, and most of you have gotten probably used to seeing my face every Monday. We've had a few guests, which I always appreciate when we can have some different perspectives as well, but we've been pretty faithful being here and giving you some mental health tips and some updates about what's going on at Brandon's house. For those who don't know, Brandon's House is a free counseling center for teens and their families. We're located in New Albany, Indiana, and we have been around since 1993. What makes us unique is that we're free. No questions asked. You don't have to have a certain level of income. We want to remove as many financial barriers that might keep somebody from getting the mental health help that they need. So therefore, it's just free. Now, because we are free, often do have a bit of a waiting list, and we are hoping to eliminate that pretty soon. We have several of our graduate level interns starting in the fall here, which is going to be in about 2 weeks that they're going to be starting, and so that will help us to get some of those individuals off of our waiting list as well. But we're always interested in adding to our staff of volunteer counselors. So if you have your master's and are interested in maybe counseling at Brandon's house, please let us know. We would be happy to talk to you about what opportunities we have available. All right, now, obviously, we have our auction coming up, right? So that is our biggest thing right now. That's kind of like all that's on our brain at Brandon's house. We are focused on donations, we're focused on getting sponsors, we're focused on getting that website up and running so that all of you will be able to bid on our wonderful donations that we have received. But there are some other things happening. We are continuing with our porch remodel project, and that is nearing completion. So our Saturday story times that we have are going to start showing a little bit more information about that progression so that you can follow along in pictures of just how amazing this has been. We also are having our 31 on the 31st, which is our GoFundMe campaign, and that is to help us raise money for our counseling. Again, the base cost of one counseling session is $31. So every time we have a 31st in the month, we ask if you're able for you to donate $31 or more to help provide a free counseling session for a teen. So we have that coming up as well. Also, if you are a runner or physically, athletically inclined at all, we have our virtual 5K, which is our Brandon Dukes Memorial Run, and that will be run in October, but you need to register by the end of September. So the registration for that is also now open, and so we'll be sharing the links for this, and you'll see a lot of information about it, especially after the auction, but you can register now, let your friends know. We will have sponsorship availability for that event, and sponsors will be on our event shirts, which has a really fun logo this year. I can't wait for you all to see it. So we have our run coming up, 31 on the 31st, our auction. We've got interns starting. We have our porch project remodel going on. We also have a group right now that we're doing for teens. This is a coping skills, basic therapy type group that involves music therapy as well. So we're kind of doing a hybrid of this. This group is Fridays at 7:30 p.m. and it is also free. But you do have to confirm and pre-register for the group so we know how many individuals are coming. So if you're interested in being a part of the group, give us a call or email or message us, and we will get you more information as well on that. So like I said, fall's a busy time of year. I'm sure you guys are all busy too. You've started back at school, a lot of you. We're all kind of getting back into the routine of things. So we've been talking a lot about that process and how sometimes there's more anxiety when school starts. Sometimes our life's a little bit chaotic and it can be hard to get back into the routine of things, and how to do that with as much, smooth sailing as possible. We've talked a little bit about test anxiety in the last couple of weeks and some tips to help remove that and do our best when we are being evaluated. Today we're going to talk about bullying. So not something everybody wants to talk about all the time, but the fact is that about 20% of our kids report that they are experiencing bullying. And by our kids, I mean as a community whole, not just the kids that come to Brandon's house, because that percentage is higher. But in general, in the community, research has found approximately 20% of adolescents, kids, all ages there, so until 18, report that they have experienced bullying of some kind. Now, that's too high. That number should be 0. But the fact is that we are human. We do make mistakes. We encounter people who think about things differently than we do. And for some kids, they haven't yet figured out healthy ways to disagree or healthy ways to relate to individuals, and they may be at risk of being a bully. So we need to have services available to help prevent individuals from wanting to be a bully. And a lot of times they don't really want to be a bully. There are a lot of factors that come into play with that. We're not going to talk too much about that side today. We're going to focus more on what to do if you or somebody you know is being bullied. So first off, let's talk about what bullying is as a definition, because it's kind of a term that we use for a lot of different things. But officially, bullying is when there is aggressive behavior of some kind that is repetitive in nature or has the potential to be repetitive, and it also has to have an imbalance of power. Now, what does that look like? What do I mean by an imbalance of power, right? Well, it means that some kids are either physically stronger, right? So we think about bullying, physical, get beat up, those kind of things, right? So there's a physical balance. There's also sometimes a balance an imbalance because one child or teen has access to some information that would be embarrassing to the other and therefore can manipulate that. And so they have power by having access to this information. That's often what we see in things like rumors or in our cyberbullying situations. Those kind of things often have more of that imbalance of embarrassing or not always even factual information. We also have an imbalance of popularity. So somebody may just be more popular at school, therefore they have more peer support than the other person, and they use that to bully somebody. That could be things like telling somebody else, hey, don't be friends with so-and-so, shutting them out of social things, not letting them sit with them at dinner or lunch or things like that. So there's many different things that bullying can look like, but the commonalities is that there is some kind of aggressive behavior that is repetitive or could be repeated that way, and that there is an imbalance of power in that situation, or that the victim of the bullying as such perceives that there is an imbalance that way, that they feel like they're weaker or more vulnerable there. So that's kind of what bullying is. Obviously, we could go into a lot more detail of dissecting all of that. There's different types of bullying. There's the verbal bullying, like name calling. There's the cyberbullying, social bullying, physical bullying. There's a lot of different types of things that this can happen. But the fact is that obviously if 20% of our kids are experiencing this, a lot of kids are experiencing one type or another of bullying. Oftentimes it does happen in a school environment because that's where the majority of our young people spend a good chunk of their time. However, you cannot dismiss other locations. Bullying definitely does happen at other spots, parks, neighborhoods, homes, online, those kind of things. So there's a lot of different possibilities for bullying. So what do you do if you think either you're being bullied or somebody you know is being bullied? The first thing that we generally recommend for kids is to be assertive, to stand up to the kid who's bullying them and tell them in a calm but clear voice to stop doing what they are doing. They don't like it. So communicating a boundary, basically saying, stop it. I don't like this at all. Then sometimes it's possible to kind of transform that into like using humor and laughing it off or joking around about it and getting out of that situation catches the person who's trying to bully you off guard. So that's a potential option. But for some people, that's too scary. It's not comfortable. It doesn't feel safe in that time to speak up. And that's okay. You don't have to. If that's what you're feeling right then you want to walk away, get out of it as quickly as possible, and go and find an adult and let them know what's happening. Because adults aren't able to help until we tell them specifically what is going on. It's also generally best to not make it a public thing of talking to the adults and things like that, because that can sometimes backfire and create more manipulation in that situation. But ultimately, you want to be safe. You want to make sure you stand up for yourself if possible. But if you don't feel comfortable in that moment standing up to the other person, you go to an adult. You let them know. If you happen to be the adult that a child or teen comes to, first off, that's a great sign that they're trusting you, and that's wonderful. But also, you have to then take it upon yourself to do something about it. Don't dismiss bullying. Even if it sounds like it's not a big thing, don't say, oh, well, go and take care of it yourselves. You guys should try and work it out. If a child has come to you and at that point and says, I don't feel safe right now, it is our job as an adult to step in and help them to work out a situation, to hear both sides, to figure out what's going on as best as we can, and create a safe environment. Now, other things that you can do if you're feeling like you're not safe, you're in a bullying situation, obviously talk to adults, teachers, parents, things like that. You don't want to keep those feelings inside. This is something that doesn't often just get better. It does need to be worked out. So you want to let them know, because also you're not alone in this situation. That's an important thing to remember. Remember I said 20% of kids go through this. So that's a large percentage of children who are experiencing some kind of bullying. Then also it just kind of makes sense safety-wise to try and avoid places where bullying is happening. Sometimes we can't completely avoid them. Places like restrooms tend to be a common place that this can happen, and let's face it, we all gotta go sometimes. But those kind of things, as much as possible, trying to avoid that. Also staying near adults or other kids, because often bullying happens when you are singled out away from your support systems. So staying with other people is a good thing to do. As far as cyberbullying, you want to, again, have an open communication with the adults in your life, your parents, teachers, things like that. But you also want to think about what you're posting. You never know what somebody else might choose to screenshot or share. So always think carefully about how this could be used in the cyber world before you put it out there. Could it hurt or embarrass anyone, yourself or somebody else? Make sure you keep your passwords to yourself, not sharing those with other people, other than your parents. But you don't want other people to have access to your accounts online. Thinking about who sees your posts as well. Do you have privacy settings? Are they for friends or larger groups? But being thoughtful about what you put online is an important step in helping to avoid some of that cyberbullying. Also, the first time you get a message that you feel like this just doesn't seem right, or I'm not comfortable with this, it's a good idea to talk to your parents about it then, before it becomes a bigger problem. So just like we talked about in-person bullying, same can be said online as far as being assertive and saying, when you don't like something, or using a sense of humor to stop the situation. But you want to make sure that you're safe no matter what. You want to think about who you're around and if they're going to help keep you safe and support you, or if they might be more inclined to side with individuals who are trying to harm you in some way. And also use some of your coping skills that you hopefully will have picked up through our mental health moments, as well as maybe in individual therapy. I do definitely recommend, if it is an ongoing problem at all, that you make sure you are notifying your teachers, principals, making sure that steps are being taken, because bullying has a major potential for having long-term mental health challenges for individuals, both the individuals who are being bullied as well as those who are bullying. So we want to make sure that we're addressing this early on. Now, like I said, bullying's a big topic. We could go on and on about it, but nobody probably wants to watch me for that long. So if you have more questions about bullying, you can put them in the comments below. You can contact us at Brandon's house. We'd be happy to work with you if that's something that you're going through. But remember, you want to not keep it a secret. This is something you want to reach out and let other people know about in your life. And make sure that you are keeping yourself safe. You're not alone in this process. There are other kids who go through this too. It shouldn't happen. And if you see it happening to somebody else and not yourself, it is a good idea to step in, or to make sure you go get an adult who can step in if you feel like it's not safe for you right then, because it's all of our jobs to make sure that people are safe and feel safe, especially in places like schools and places like that. So, like I said, there's a lot more that we could talk about, but we're going to try and keep it a little bit short. I hope that you all have a good week this week. We're kind of going to wrap up our education side of things this week, and next week we're going to turn to a new topic that will be announced soon. Remember, if you like our videos, to share them, follow us. We have things throughout the whole week that we are posting to help you to take care of yourself and those that you care about. All right, have a great week. Remember, next Monday morning, our auction goes live.